ago I was loaded at that gate outside there into a paddy wagon with 5 Gardaí who came in here and raided my entire property on the grounds that I wrote to a politician for hate speech. That's all they have on me. For quoting the Nuremberg Code for heat committing crimes against humanity by force mandating people to have injections to feed their families. The Nuremberg Code was written against that, so we would be protected, and they broke and violated everything. But they made me a prisoner, and the case still goes on till next May. The day before my mother's birthday next year, my case still goes on, which is great because they've left my account open, and I like that. But I lost my phone in that pond because I wouldn't give them access to my phone. No, there was nothing on it. But when a man in a pair of wellies and a short trousers can outrun 5 Gardaí, it shows the state of how weak our Garda system is. Because it's not easy running a pair of shorts and wellies. I came to this fence, it was a bit different, but I seem to have jumped it like I was jumping in the Grand National or something. And I got round the pond and I just got it into the pond. And I left it there. The secret of magic thing, I teased it out 3 weeks later with a digger. I got it out 3 weeks later, and I dried it out and I got it working. And I opened up all my apps on it, but it crashed about 2 days later. But it doesn't matter. The power of belief is I still knew the phone would work, and it's still there somewhere. I've left it go out of my life. I don't write anymore on Facebook or anything else. There was 2,500 people on it, which maybe I'll go back and put a message of this new journey that we're in now, because this is a new journey now. We've left that old stuff behind, so I think I'll finish with that and say we'll go up and see these beautiful horses go back out to grass. They've stood quietly and patiently for all of us today. And I want to thank every one of you that support us, stand by us, just drop in to see us. Endless people are coming to this land for quite a long time now, and I'm extremely grateful, as are the horses and Angela and my sons and all my family, for the amount of people that have stood by us. And Paul isn't here, my brother, but without him in this journey, I have as good as almost half bankrupted him with the amount of financial money he put into these horses in the earlier couple of years. People don't realise maybe that for 2 years the government denied us the right to earn any living with our animals after keeping 10 people employed at Dromoland Castle. And not only did they deny us the right to earn a living, they replaced the business that was turning over a quarter of a million on our books with nothing, and gave a same PUP payment to my 10 staff, some of them college students, some of them part-time staff and some full-time, as they gave me to run 8 vehicles, including this one. The discs that are on that truck are not belonging to that truck, they belong to a Jeep that was over there that my family bought for me last year, but the engine went in it. I drive this without tax or insurance or anything, in a bid just to feed them, because tomorrow I have to earn money to feed them before I feed anything else. I had 8 vehicles on the road. I was supposed to pay my rent, my loans. I was supposed to sustain the running costs of 4 businesses. I was supposed to endure insurance costs that went from 8,000 to something like 22,000. I was supposed to feed my family. And I was supposed to take care of the welfare of 40 horses on a PUP payment of €350. And people keep saying to me, it's not possible. It is possible, I've done it. With the help of so many people, we got them through this whole journey. It was the most emotional roller coaster for 2 years till I learned to give up on everything and only concentrate on the things that needed food. And that was them. And my children, I actually turned my back somewhat in supporting them, because I knew they weren't going to die of hunger. And it was very hard. And there was a lot of battles over it, not being able to send any money home. But I didn't send it home, because I said, someone will feed them. But there was no one standing in to feed these animals. And in that journey, it got rougher and rougher, that at Christmas week in 2020, I asked the Department of Agriculture for help to feed them. They sent the Department of Animal Welfare to me and told me that if I neglected the health of one of them in my duty of care, they'd take the lot of them off me. I got off the phone, and within 2 hours they had 2 department vets inside in the yard to check the health of all my animals. They came in as the most glorified people you ever saw, and they left with the saddest hearts I ever saw in my life, because they forgot to measure that God was looking after them, and they were shining in the middle of winter. And that was part of the journey. All the while, my landlords and my employers were colluding with each other, till they forcefully evicted us in a lockdown when there was a 5-kilometre radius, out of a place where we give 13 years of our life to, 7 days of the week. And they evicted us out of Dromoland Castle and Dromoland Castle estate of Lord Inchiquine's lands, where we housed 25 carriages and 40 horses. And they got us out, and we came home with our heads held high. And 6 months later, we learned that Dromoland Castle would return and buy out the very place we operated our entire business, where we left thousands of pounds worth of our equipment. We'd done up stables, we'd done up yards, we'd built a small sand arena. I built miles of tracks and trails for horse riding that we could go out on a 2-hour trek. People thought that garden would be impossible up there. They told me I was wasting my time, we would never get that ground right. And the fact that I work 50 hours every week to feed those horses, that's roughly what I have to work tomorrow and all this week to earn enough money to feed them. The fact that in the winter, they take 50 hours to care for them, that's 100 hours. And I do another 20 or 30 to get by. That's an ordinary day. That's just an ordinary day. But I don't class any of it as work. I love everything I do. And I'll be happy and singing tomorrow when I'm picking up fallen stock all around Clare and they're full of maggots. Because I know when I'm finished I'll have money to feed my horses. And I know what will even be more special is if the Unicorn Academy, which I've forgotten in all of this talk, these guys, I forget you. They are the ones that this is all about. And I forgot them.
I remember them now. It's just their time to talk about it.
These children,
Come here.
mountains and rocks here. All of these children. You would not be here today only for these children. And they are our future. And we're going to protect them. If we have to die for them, we will protect them, all of them, across this land, because there's been such a steal on our children by governments and by globalists. But we know it's done now, and we know that God has won in this light. And the light is flooding all the darkness that they had on us for centuries and centuries. We went away several days this year working with the horses to come back and find between 20 and 30 children and their parents up on this land. Like wild Indians. Tamed hearts with nothing on them. And they're up on this land without bridles and saddles. There's 70 saddles down in the yard. They don't want them. They want to just be with these horses and wrap their arms around them and love them. That's all they do with them. And they might ride them for 10 minutes and they might be lying asleep in them for an hour. They mightn't even move from the lower yard here for 2 hours till they're fully connected and in this body going up. And the magic that they have brought through Jen, it's just, and you, Ash, the magic that you're bringing, it actually can't be measured. We're actually lucky that the world is so big because we'd have to put our arms out very, very far. And we're in a magical time. We have our first baby on this land. And if that's not a reason for magic, it's just, I don't know what is, you know. Fiona, I want to thank you for the music, for all of you. And the music can be alive tonight. It will be absolutely alive. And I want to thank my son Liam, because without him and his brother Tig, I wouldn't be able to keep on this journey. They're absolutely magical. Yeah. He doesn't look for any praise. He'll be here tomorrow to do the work when his dad's done to work, and he'll get everything done somehow. And we work as a team. There could be rounds and words, and we go that way. We're fired up at times. Even more with his brother. We'll still come back and find every single job done. But we might have told enough people who never see us. This is part of our journey at the moment. But they never ever stop giving to the horses. Ever, ever. And you, Angela. I can't thank you enough. Yeah, for everything. Yeah. So we'll let up the herd. I can't thank you enough.
When else is here now, Seán? When else is here?
So limerick.
That's a good idea.
Coffee!